What would you do if a mother stood before you with over $1,000 in unpaid tickets, a boot on her car, and no way to pay? Would you follow the law exactly as written? Or would you look beyond the paperwork and see the human story standing in front of you? In today's courtroom story, one judge faced a decision that could completely change the future of a struggling family. And what happened next left everyone speechless. Intro. Courtrooms are often seen as places of punishment, places where rules are enforced and consequences are delivered. But every now and then, a case comes along that reminds us that justice is not only about laws. Sometimes, justice is also about compassion. On a busy morning in a Rhode Island courtroom, a young mother named Giselle stepped forward with her small son beside her. At first glance, her case looked simple: multiple unpaid violations, a booted vehicle, and more than $1,100 owed in fines and penalties. Most people watching expected the outcome to be straightforward: pay the fines or lose the car. But no one expected what would happen next. The case. The judge reviewed the file carefully. 9 unpaid violations, 2 red light tickets, 7 parking tickets. The amount had continued growing because of penalties and late fees. The situation had become serious. Her vehicle had already been immobilized with a boot. And if the matter wasn't resolved soon, the next step would be towing. The judge asked a simple question: "Did you know about these tickets?" Giselle explained that she wasn't the only person using the vehicle. The car belonged to her children's father. They shared it. Some violations may have occurred while she had the vehicle. Others may have happened when he was driving.
She wasn't entirely sure. But one thing she did know was that she didn't have enough money to pay the full amount.
She wasn't asking for special treatment. She wasn't trying to escape responsibility. She simply wanted a chance to pay in smaller installments. The courtroom became quiet. Everyone understood the problem. The judge then explained the reality of the situation. If the boot remained in place, the vehicle would likely be towed. The towing company would charge additional fees. Storage fees would begin accumulating every day, and before long, recovering the vehicle might become nearly impossible. For many people, losing a car is inconvenient. For others, it can be devastating. Without transportation, getting to work becomes harder. Taking children where they need to go becomes harder. Life itself becomes harder. A different perspective. As the judge looked across the courtroom, his attention shifted away from the paperwork. Instead, he looked at the small boy standing next to his mother. The child had come to court early that morning. He looked tired, confused, and completely unaware that a decision made in the next few minutes could affect his family's future.
The judge paused. Then he admitted something unusual. He needed help.
What happened next? That morning, a special guest was sitting in the courtroom. Former Miss Rhode Island, USA, Kelsey Swanson. The judge invited her to approach the bench. The audience smiled. No one knew exactly where this was going. Then came an unexpected proposal. The judge temporarily made her part of the decision-making process. He presented 3 possible outcomes. Option 1, approximately $900 owed. Option 2, around $700 owed. Option 3, only the parking ticket amount plus the boot fee, roughly $310 total. The courtroom waited. What would she choose? After listening to the facts, she made her recommendation. Option 3, the lowest amount. The room reacted immediately, and then she added a light-hearted observation. The little boy standing beside his mother was adorable. The comment brought smiles throughout the courtroom. A tense situation suddenly felt human. The decision. The judge agreed. The recommendation would stand. Instead of facing an overwhelming financial burden, Giselle's total amount due would be reduced dramatically. The judge then asked how much she could pay immediately. She answered honestly, about $200. That was all she had. Rather than criticizing her, the judge worked with her. She would pay what she could that day. The remaining balance could be paid within the next month. Just like that, a situation that seemed hopeless moments earlier became manageable. The bigger lesson: stories like this spark debate. Some people believe rules should always be enforced exactly as written. Others believe judges should have flexibility when circumstances deserve consideration. Regardless of where you stand, one thing is clear. This wasn't a case involving danger. It wasn't a violent crime. It wasn't someone trying to manipulate the system. It was a struggling family facing financial hardship. And one judge chose to look beyond the numbers. He saw the people behind the case. Why this story matters? Millions of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Unexpected expenses can create overwhelming pressure. Late fees become larger fees. Small problems become major problems. And sometimes a person doesn't need a miracle, they simply need a chance. That is why this courtroom moment continues to resonate with viewers, not because someone escaped responsibility, but because responsibility was balanced with understanding. Ending. As Giselle left the courtroom with her son, she carried more than a reduced fine. She carried hope, a chance to move forward, a chance to keep her transportation, and a reminder that compassion still exists in places where many people least expect it. The law matters. Accountability matters. But perhaps what people remember most about this case is something else. A judge looked at a little boy, a mother struggling to get by, and decided that justice could include mercy. What do you think? Did the judge make the right decision? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoy real courtroom stories, true legal cases, and unforgettable moments of compassion and justice, be sure to subscribe for more powerful stories every week.